greater would be the merit of those who would learn the perfection of wisdom. And why? Because in this perfection of wisdom are contained all the wholesome dharmas, the 10 wholesome paths of action, 2. The knowledge of all modes. This is the religion of the Buddhas and Lords. Having trained therein all the disciples and pratyeka Buddhas, as well as the past, present, and future Buddhas and Lords, have gone to the beyond of all dharmas, do go to it, will go to it. End chapter 27. Chapter 28. The proclamation of a bodhisattva's qualities. The Lord. So it is, kausika, so it is. These sons and daughters of good family will beget a great deal of merit. They will beget a merit which is immeasurable, incalculable, inconceivable, incomparable, illimitable. If, having copied this perfection of wisdom and made it into a book, they will learn and study it, bear it in mind, preach it and wisely attend to it, and if, in addition, they will honor, revere, adore, and worship it with flowers, 2. Flags. And why? Because from the perfection of wisdom has come forth the all-knowledge of the Tathagatas, and from it have come forth the perfection of concentration, 2. The Supreme Enlightenment. Therefore the accumulation of merit of the devotee of the perfection of wisdom bears no proportion at all to the former accumulation of merit born from building stupas. And why? As long as the perfection of wisdom abides in Jambudvipa, so long there will be no disappearance of the jewel of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. As long as there will be a manifestation in the world of the 10 wholesome paths of action, of the 4 trances, of the knowledge of all modes, so long there will be a manifestation of good warrior families, 2. Of the fruit of a streamwinner, 2. Of arhatship and pratyeka Buddha enlightenment. And so long will there be a conception of the full attainment of the bodhisattvas. The great beings, of the utmost Buddha cognition, the turning of the wheel of the Dharma, the maturing of beings and the perfect purity of the Buddha field. 6. Moderately weak. Thereupon in this great tricholiocosm the deities belonging to the 4 great kings, and the other gods, said to Sakra, chief of gods. The perfection of wisdom, sir, should be taken up, and why? When it has been taken up, then all the unwholesome dharmas wane away and the wholesome dharmas go to the fulfillment of the development. The heavenly hosts wax strong, and the hosts of the asuras wane away. The guide of the Buddha will not be cut off, nor the guide of the Dharma, nor the guide of the Sangha, so that the triple jewel should not be interrupted. There takes place in this world a manifestation of all the perfections. Of the 37 dharmas which act as wings to enlightenment, of the course of a bodhisattva and of the Tathagata, the Arhat, the fully enlightened one. The Lord. Kausika, do take up the perfection of wisdom, bear it in mind, preach and study it, and wisely attend to it. And why? If the asuras form the idea of having a fight with the gods of the 33, then, if you, kausika, bring to mind this perfection of wisdom, repeat and wisely attend to it, those asuras will drop that idea again. Nor will the mental processes grow which occur to the male or female deities at the time of the decease, when they see their future rebirth. When you, kausika, repeat this perfection of wisdom in from of them, then through that wholesome root and through hearing the perfection of wisdom they are again once more reborn among the gods. And why? So greatly profitable is it to hear the perfection of wisdom. Whichever son or daughter of good family, whichever male or female deity comes to hear of this perfection of wisdom, they will all, through that wholesome root, in due course know full enlightenment. And why? Those kausika, who in the past period were Tathagatas, With their congregations of disciples, they have, by having trained in this perfection of wisdom, won final nirvana in the realm of nirvana which leaves nothing behind. And the same holds good of the Tathagatas who, with their congregation of disciples, just now stand, hold, and maintain themselves, in the 10 directions. They all have known full enlightenment, because they have trained in just this perfection of wisdom. And why? Because in the perfection of wisdom are contained all the dharmas which act as wings of enlightenment, be they disciples' dharmas, pratyeka Buddha dharmas, bodhisattva dharmas, or Buddha dharmas. Sakra. A great law is this perfection of wisdom, the utmost law, the unequaled law. And why? Because the perfection of wisdom spurns all unwholesome dharmas and bestows all wholesome dharmas. The Lord. So it is, kausika, so it is. A great law, the utmost law, the unequaled law is this perfection of wisdom. And why? Because those who were Tathagatas in the past period, they have, thanks to this law, fully known the utmost, right, and perfect enlightenment. Those also who will be Tathagatas in a future period, they will, thanks to this law, fully know the utmost, right, and perfect enlightenment. Those Tathagatas also who stand, hold, and maintain themselves just now in the world systems in the 10 directions, they also do, thanks to this law, fully know the utmost, right, and perfect enlightenment. And why? Because, kausika, thanks to this law the 10 wholesome paths of action are conceived in the world, the 4 trances, 2. The knowledge of all modes. Also thanks to the bodhisattvas the 10 wholesome paths of action are brought about, and so are the 4 trances, 2. The knowledge of all modes, and the streamwinner, 2. The Tathagatas. Just as, thanks to the disk of the moon all the hosts of the brightly shining stars become manifest and the constellations are conceived. Just so, whatever wholesome conduct, whatever right conduct there is, the 10 paths of wholesome action, 2. The knowledge of all modes, when no Tathagatas are produced, all that should be known as having issued from the bodhisattvas, as having been begotten by the bodhisattvas. And that skill in means of the bodhisattva, the great being, should be known as issued form the perfection of wisdom. Endowed with this skill in means the bodhisattva courses in the perfections, the various kinds of emptiness, the applications of mindfulness, 2. The 18 special Buddha dharmas. He does not fall on the level of the disciples, does not realize the level of the pratyeka Buddhas, but matures beings and purifies the Buddha field. And he acquires the accomplishment of long life, of beings, of the Buddha field and of becoming a bodhisattva. And he reaches the knowledge of all modes. Moreover, the son or daughter of good family who takes up this perfection of wisdom, 2. Attends to it wisely, become endowed with these qualities belonging to this very life. Sakra. Which are those qualities? The Lord. He will not die from poison, or sword, from fire or water, 2. From, or sickness, except as a punishment for his past deeds. As to the calamities which threaten him from the courts of princes, if a son or daughter of good family approach the princely court while repeating this perfection of wisdom, then no harm can befall them. Kings and kings' counsellors will decide to greet them with loving words, to converse with them, to be polite and friendly to them. And why? That is the might of the majesty of just this perfection of wisdom. If a son or daughter of good family approach a princely court while repeating this perfection of wisdom, kings and ministers will think that they should address them with loving words, that they should converse with them, and give them a friendly greeting. And why? Because, kausika, those sons and daughters of good family have set up towards all beings a thought of friendliness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and impartiality. endowed with these good qualities relating to this very life will be that son or daughter of good family who will take up this perfection of wisdom to wisely attend to it. And, kausika, what qualities relating to the next world will he be endowed with? He will never be lacking in the 10 paths of wholesome action, the 4 trances, 2. The Buddha Dharmas. He will never be reborn in the hells, as an animal, or in the world of Yama. He will never be crippled. He will never be reborn in poor families, or in the families of jugglers, refuse workers, or vultures, except as a result of his vow to mature beings. Constantly and always he will be endowed with the 32 marks of a Superman. He will be miraculously reborn in those Buddha fields where he can be face to face with the Buddhas, the Lords. Never will he be lacking in the super knowledges of a bodhisattva. He will, as he plans, pass on from Buddha field to Buddha field, for the sake of honoring the Buddhas, the Lords, and of hearing the Dharma. Passing on from Buddha field to Buddha field he will mature beings and purify the Buddha field. Therefore then, those sons and daughters of good family who desire this accomplishment of qualities should take up this perfection of wisdom, study it, recite it, and wisely attend to it, and they should not become lacking in the thought of the knowledge of all modes. They will be endowed with these qualities, belonging to this and the next life, until they will fully know the utmost, right, and perfect enlightenment. End chapter 28. Buddhist Sutras. Note: Buddhists may get more benefit from listening to the sutras actively by reading along with a peaceful voice, and walking on a treadmill very slowly to avoid drowsiness.